Zami was made for this type of humanitarian work. She had so much empathy, but she was also so driven.
43-year-old Zami Frankum worked in some of the most devastated parts of the world, most recently working in Gaza with World Central Kitchen.
Hey, this is Zami and Chef Olivier. We're at the Dirabala kitchen.
But weeks after this video was filmed,
this is the beautiful, fragrant, aromatic rice that will be served today from Dirabala kitchen. Thank you.
Zomi and 6 other colleagues were killed by an Israeli airstrike in Gaza.
I think we're still in shock. It's still very difficult.
Nate Mook is the former CEO of World Central Kitchen and hired Zomi in 2019.
Zami was somebody from the moment you first meet her, she feels like your best friend. She has this huge smile on her face. But I think what also made Zami so special is she just had this empathy for people, but she would talk to people, she would listen to them, she would hold their hands.
Now global pressure is mounting on Israel to investigate why those 3 clearly marked aid vehicles from the World Central Kitchen were targeted in an IDF airstrike. The aid group says the workers coordinated their movements with the Israeli military and were travelling in a 3-car convoy in an area deemed safe after unloading more than 100 tons of food to this warehouse brought to Gaza. The convoy was then struck 3 times. A charred van, another with a large hole in the roof where you can clearly see their logo, are the images sparking worldwide criticism. The World Central Kitchen calling the incident unforgivable and immediately halting operations.
Humanitarians and civilians should never be paying the consequences of war. This is a basic principle of humanity.
Gaza has been on the brink of famine, lack of food, water and medicines, contributing to dire rates of malnutrition, according to the UN.
المطبخ العالمي هذا بصراحة يعني احنا مستفيدين منه. لما بدها تروح الاستفادة هذه كأنهم بدهم يجوعونا.
والله يا ابن الحلال هذا انه هذا اللي بيعملوا فينا حرام. ايش ده احنا الاطفال يجوعوا والله احنا بنستفيد من هذا المطبخ وبيجيبوا لنا الاكل يعني بلا ما اخذ للخيام.
According to the UN, at least 196 aid workers have been killed since the start of the war, which began after Hamas brutally killed 1,200 people in Israel and took more than 130 people hostage on October 7th. The 7 aid workers killed on Monday came from all over the world. Yesterday, Gazans held a funeral for Safaiden Essam Ayada Abudha, a 25-year-old Palestinian and the youngest victim. Today, the bodies of the 6 other workers transported out of Gaza to their families, including 3 British men who worked security for the group. 57-year-old John Chapman, 33-year-old James Jim Henderson and 47-year-old James Kirby.
He was completely selfless, which explains why he went to Gaza, and he just wanted to help people.
33-year-old Jacob Flickinger, a US-Canadian dual citizen. 35-year-old Damien Sobel from Poland.
Hello everyone, Damien checking from Cairo.
Seen in this video from March, showing a warehouse full of supplies for Gaza.
And everything what is needed to create a kitchen and feed people in need it. Thank you for all donations.
And 43-year-old Zomi Frankum from Australia.
I feel shattered. Of course, humanitarians take risks, but at the same time, they did everything right. You know, they had permission, they had every reason to think that they could do this safely. And yeah, it still feels kind of unreal.
In the immediate aftermath, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calling this incident a tragic case and initially saying, quote, "It happens in war." His office later releasing a follow-up statement using softer language, saying Israel deeply regrets the tragic incident and that the IDF is conducting a swift and transparent investigation and we will make our findings public. Tonight in Israel, hostage families storming parliament, heckling lawmakers below, smearing paint on the glass. Pressure facing Benjamin Netanyahu inside Israel matched by the fierce reaction from President Biden, saying he's outraged and heartbroken about the aid workers killed earlier this week, demanding Israel make the findings of their investigation public.
We need to wait and see the outcome of this investigation to know with any confidence what it was that happened. Whatever the reason was that led to this tragedy, whatever the mistake that happened inside the IDF, it's unacceptable.
What's clear is that attack set off a new wave of anger and frustration within the White House, but it's not leading to an actual change in policy.
World Central Kitchen founder and award-winning chef Jose Andres today rejecting Israel's assertions that the strike was unintentional.
What I know is that we were targeted deliberately, non-stop, until everybody was dead in this convoy. It looks like it's not a war against terrorism anymore. Seems this is a war against humanity itself.
Foreign policy advisor for Netanyahu, Ophir Falk, reiterating the IDF's initial findings that it was a mistake that followed a misidentification at night.
Those vehicles were clearly marked.
This war is a complex war. The incident happened in the middle of the night. It should not have happened.
Despite the deepening tensions between President Biden and Netanyahu, just days ago, Biden approved the transfer of additional weapons to Israel, including 2,000-pound bombs, which have been connected to mass casualties. Nearly 33,000 Palestinians have been killed since October, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The humanitarian crisis on the ground now becoming more dire, with several aid groups pausing operations following the deaths of the World Central Kitchen workers.
بنتي حالتها بالسوء بزيادة وأنا عاجزة إنه أعمل لها إشي يعني أنا بشوفها بتموت قدام عيني ومش طالع بإيدي أعمل لها إشي.
Getting aid into Gaza is extremely challenging, but groups like World Central Kitchen found ways to deliver food to those in need.
We are doing at times more than 350,000 hot meals a day. We have more than 62, 63 kitchens functioning every day.
Jose Andres rose to fame with several celebrated and award-winning restaurants in the US. And in 2010, he created World Central Kitchen after seeing the devastation from the Haiti earthquake. Since then, his team has provided hot meals in countless disaster zones. From hurricanes here in the States,
take a look at the water,
to war zones around the world.
And here is all the people doing this.
World Central Kitchen and others temporarily pulling out of Gaza leaves a gaping hole in the efforts to get life-saving aid back to those who need it. The World Food Programme today is saying that already 1 in 3 children below the age of 2 is now acutely malnourished. Aid groups are now fearing the worst.
Our thanks to Britt. President Biden is expected to speak with Benjamin Netanyahu tomorrow for the first time since that strike on the aid workers.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.